My name is Cecil. I am the founder and the CEO of Revolution Software. So the first game, Beneath the Steel Sky, was written in 1994. I wrote it with a comic book artist called Dave Gibbons, who created a comic book called Watchmen. And the idea that we sold was that it was an interactive comic, and we're working with Dave again. He is the art director for Beneath the Steel Sky, and it's a great pleasure to work with him. The thing about Beneath the Steel Sky is that it was successful at the time, which was a long time ago, but it was written in DOS. And when Windows 98 stopped supporting DOS, the game was effectively dead. So a wonderful group of people called ScumVM approached us in the very early 2000s. And we gave them the source code, and they adapted it for their system. And because we thought that the game had no value without ScumVM, we gave it away for free, which actually was a really smart thing to do, because huge numbers, millions of people played it that otherwise wouldn't have known it. So the game has got quite a cult status. So we felt that it was probably better and in many ways more satisfying to come up with the original IP, because we know who the main character is, we know what drives his motivations, we know a certain amount about the world, and it allowed us to focus on creating a really compelling story and innovative gameplay, rather than starting right at the very beginning with a totally new character. Well, Beyond the Steel Sky is absolutely an adventure through and through. What I wanted to do was bring back this concept that we had in the original Beneath the Steel Sky called virtual theatre. And virtual theatre is the idea that characters walk around the world and are motivated. And so solutions to puzzles emerge from subverting the world, rather than the player having to look into the mind of the game designer. You know, I wanted logical puzzles. And the problem with writing logical puzzles often is that the solutions are too obvious because they're logical. So by creating this sense of a virtual theatre where you have players all moving around, all within their own areas, I actually think that the puzzles are more satisfying because people can solve them in their own way, rather than the prescribed solution from a game designer. So we released Broken Sword 5 in 2013. So I'm really embarrassed that it's taken 6 years. It's really hard writing a new game, and we ported it from PC, Mac, Linux, PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, Xbox One, iOS, Android, Apple TV, Nintendo Switch, and it always felt easier to do a new port than it did to sit down and write a new game. So when we ran out of formats, then I thought now is the time, and that's when I approached Dave Gibbons, my collaborator, and said it's about time we wrote a new Beneath the Steel Sky. But really, I should have done this a lot earlier, and I'm a little bit frustrated with myself that I waited this long to start a new project.